Hey, it's Peter Voogd, and in this video, I'm going to talk about how to create an energy explosion in your life and the biggest benefits of that, but also go deep into the 3 types of energy that nobody talks about. And I will also give you the number 1 trap society falls in to keep them struggling and to keep them where they are. So stay tuned. What's up, guys? It's Peter Voogd here, founder of prestigious Game Changers Academy and author of the best-selling book, 6 Months to Six Figures. And we're going to dive into the next chapter of 6 Months to Six Figures. As you guys know, if you've been following along, I've been breaking down each chapter. I wrote this book a couple years ago, and it's become an international phenomenon, which I'm very humbled by. I can't believe it's happened. It's at over 300,000 copies, and it's called 6 Months to Six Figures. But I got a lot of requests, a lot of questions, and a lot of praise for the book, so I wanted to kind of create a series where I just break down each chapter, the frame of mind I was in when I wrote it, why I included it, and then some things that I've learned since then, because this was written in 2014. So this chapter is called Consistent Energy and Inner Drive. And I start off with a quote that says, "Those who don't make time for exercise will eventually have to make time for illness." And you might say, wait, your book is 6 Months to Six Figures. What's that have to do with energy? And the reality is everything. No one really talks about the importance of energy in business and how much it can help someone's success. Without world-class levels of energy, you won't get to your best in business. And when I started focusing on energy, it was in the midst of me going from broke and struggling to getting to my first 6 figures. I started paying attention to it. And I started realizing that if I wanted every advantage that I could possibly have in business. Because from my upbringing to what I knew, I was in a town that was of 7,000 people growing up. And I just wanted every advantage I could possibly have because I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't have enough experience, and I was only 21, 22. So energy was my competitive advantage. And then when I started teaching, so for me, I realized the importance of energy. I saw that when I was more energized, I can get bigger things done, and I was more resourceful. I started teaching my team the same principles and philosophies that I learned, and their results started to go up as well. But the only way you're going to reach higher levels of energy and not get exhausted throughout the day and not be tired by 2 o'clock and have it help you and give you an advantage is if you understand where energy comes from. And the reason I put this in my book is because it was one of the 6 things that got me to 6 figures in 6 months. I dropped my pencil, hold on. By the way, thank you if you're tuning into my YouTube channel. If you're watching this or if you're listening to my YEL 2.0 podcast, much respect. If it's your first time being introduced to me, I try to be as authentic and myself as possible because I think you got to give up the need to be liked and you have to be comfortable in your own skin. So we don't really do much editing. I don't do much retakes. I just want to be authentic. I chose to give up the need to be perfect, just to be myself and be authentic because it's exhausting trying to be perfect. And we're talking about energy, so we can't be exhausted here, right? So I'm going to dive into the reality of energy and how to kind of create an explosion in your life. And I talk about some of the benefits in the book. Increases your influence and impact you have on others. Improves productivity and performance. Improves relationships and higher level connections. More passion and excitement, consistent and better results, more happiness and fulfillment, more resourceful and innovative. You're more courageous and you're more confident. And there's 3 types of energies, okay? Which I dive into. And obviously, it's a very detailed chapter, and there's bullet points. There's also exercises you can do as well. There's a lot of different things. But I just wanted to kind of dive in from my perspective. So those are some of the biggest benefits. Now, here's what I've came to realize as far as society goes and just paying attention the last 10 or 15 years and just growing up. There's 3 types of lives that people live. And I kind of dive into this in the book, but I want to hit on this because of the importance of understanding which one you are. There's the cage life, there's the comfortable life, and there's the charged life, okay? The cage life, these are people who, they kind of live in the expectation of others. and their energy is so drained because they don't fully know themselves, because their expectation of themselves is what others think or expect of them. They let others dictate who they are. Their identities are kind of trapped in a box full of beliefs that they've had in their past. And it's okay to question your past beliefs. It's okay to question things you believe. Just because it's how you were raised doesn't mean you have to believe it. If it doesn't serve you well, get rid of it, right? But these people base their decisions off others versus who they really are. They take too many opinions, and they rarely have any original thoughts for themselves because their thoughts are conditioned through others, and that's how they form their limitations and their fears, right? These people usually struggle because how you do anything is how you do everything. If you don't know yourself, if you don't have strong principles and values, and you're trapped in others' expectations of you, then it's going to be harder to be resourceful. And what do most people in society do? Most people settle. Most people have no energy. So if you're letting others dictate you and most people settle, these are people that have settled, sadly. And I say this with empathy that it doesn't matter if you're 72 or 27. You're one decision away from making a better and a right decision. Okay, energy-wise, if you've eaten bad food the last 5 years, you are one decision away from eating something healthy. You haven't worked out in 10 years. You haven't worked out in 3 months. You are one decision away from being consistent at working out again, right? First thing, cage life. Second, comfortable life. These are the people who have become complacent and they get easily satisfied. They might be desiring something more. They might share their vision. And here's what I've noticed. Sometimes people that are complacent, that do desire more, but they've got stuck in a rut, they like to make up for their lack of consistent results and action by either what they've done in the past or by speaking louder, right? And they often wonder if they followed the right voices and ambitions. They've become comfortable with, let's say, the status quo, and they're just glad they're not struggling, right? Most people living a comfortable life haven't thought about their greatest aspirations or dreams for a long time. They often say, this is good enough, or I'll travel later. And this is the people that are kind of on someday aisle. Like, someday I'll go all in. Someday I'll learn another language. Someday I'll travel. Not right now. And that turns into regret, right? Don't get me wrong. Having a comfortable life is better than having a cage life. Because when you're comfortable, you at least know yourself and you don't have to fear people or care what they think, and you can do your own thing. But still, you get to the end of your life and realize you could have been, and accomplished so much more. The third type is the charged life. These are people that live with energy and passion, and there's something different about them. They're living a life of their own design they've chosen, and they're not converting to chasing others' lives. They're focused on serving and contributing to the world at the highest level. And I call this living on purpose and off yourself. They are part of a movement. They've created something bigger than themselves. They love what they do. They sometimes put their family first, their business first, but they wouldn't want it any other way because they realize it's not about them sometimes. They're so excited about what they're focused on that it's impossible for them to get complacent. How does someone like P. Diddy or Jay-Z make $500 million and they're still chasing dreams? They're still starting companies. They're still building businesses. How does someone like Mark Wahlberg, who's worth $150 million, still get up at 4 a.m. and work out? Love what he does, right? How do some comedians like the Kevin Harts and these people that are worth 70 million still do it? Because you reach a certain level where money's not an option, then you can do even more of what you love, right? So these people have a charged life. They have high energy. They have complete presence and anticipation for the future. They're living their true vision and impacting a lot of people while living life on their terms. Tony Robbins, same thing, worth a couple $100 million, still doing seminars. Right? Richard Branson, he owns 400 companies, still grinding, starting companies. Elon Musk, same thing. So you have to understand that the people that live a charged life, they're not doing it for the money. Yes, they like money, and I'm sure They are attracting it because of the value they're bringing to the marketplace and who they're becoming. But these people focus on serving, and they base everything off their values and standards versus their limitations or fears. So you must consciously choose a new self-image and a new life and forge that into existence by replacing good behaviors or bad behaviors with good behaviors, right? So keep that in mind. And I'll give you some traits of the charged life, but the reality is you have to choose which one you want first, right? So reasons come first. So when I was figuring out that energy was a competitive advantage, I had to put reasons first. Like, okay, why do I want to be healthier? Why do I want to eat based off energy, not instant pleasure, right? I started thinking about it. Why do I want the exceptional lifestyle? And I started thinking about all the fruits of my labor, all the benefits of focusing on energy, and realizing that no one else at the time in my company was really focused on energy. Not only were they eating fast food, they weren't even consciously thinking about how to improve your energy. So, by the way, I came about this by being horrible in energy. I was tired all the time. It was really hard for me to wake up in the morning. Every time I ate food, I wanted to take a nap. And I was just sick of it. I couldn't solve some simple problems that I wanted to solve. And I realized it was because my judgment was clouded because I was tired. Instead of staying up and wanting to solve big problems in my business, and solve one of the biggest was that I was broke, right? But I instead would escape reality. And when you don't have energy, it's easier to escape reality. Watch TV, slip on the Netflix, right? Instead of going to the gym, you lay in bed. Instead of eating that salad and eating that energy, or getting an energy drink, or getting I don't mean energy drink, I mean a green drink, you eat what's comfortable, right? So first you got to figure out, why do you want more energy? Why do you want the exceptional lifestyle? This will give you the tactics, right? This will give you the tactics. You can get this on Amazon or at sixfiguresbook.com, I believe. But you got to think about why you want massive energy. What would it do for you and your family if you understood the power of energy, right? So I'm going to walk through a couple of these. There's 7 traits. I'm going to walk through a couple on how to get energy. But before I dive into that, I want to talk about the most common energy killers. And there's 3 simple ones I want to walk through. First one is doing things you hate. In business, you should be delegating anything that A, you hate, B, you're not exceptional at, C, other people could do better than you. So if you're doing a lot of things in business, if you're Superman where you're trying to do everything yourself, here's what's scary. Not only does it kill your energy and creates burnout, you start to resent the things that you used to love, right? So that's one of the biggest energy killers. It has nothing to do with food, right? It has to do with doing things you hate. So that's the first thing. Start making a list. Things you're good at, things you're not good at, things you can't stand doing. Make a list and start delegating the things that you shouldn't be doing, can't do, or don't want to do, right? And that's a different podcast talking about business tips. But the reality is I was doing everything and I couldn't stand it, and I was burning out. Second thing is fearing people and caring what they think. Trying to please people, fearing people, thinking about every decision. What's he going to think? What's she going to think? Should I post this? Should I not post it? What should I wear? That is the biggest energy killer. So you have to give up the need to be liked by everybody. Because you're listening to this or watching, I'm assuming you want to build a thriving business. You want to become a dynamic entrepreneur. You want to live a life on your terms, right? So to build a polarizing brand or a great business, it is impossible to be liked by everybody. That's why most people fail, and it's an energy drain, and you're either going on an upward spiral or a downward spiral. And if you have energy loss from fearing people, you're on a downward spiral. So with this, you have to start understanding that if you're fully yourself and you define your target audience and you give up the need to be liked, to be authentic, the right people will love the real you, and the wrong ones will hate anyways. Okay? So give up the need to be liked by people and start being your authentic self. It even sounds fluffy saying it because I don't even like when people say it online. You got to be your authentic self. There's no tactics involved. You know me, I hate the non-tactic spirituality. wish, hope, dream, visualize. I get that you need that, but I'm all about action and results and tactics and comprehensive strategies. But the reality is, if right now you care what people think, it's an energy drain, period. It's a proven fact, okay? And the third thing is what you eat, what you put in your body. I'm not a health coach, nor do I claim to be, but here's what you got to pay attention to, and you can research on your own. The coolest thing I read a couple weeks ago was from Jay-Z and Beyonce, who I should pull it up, who have a book coming out called the Green Life, I think, the Green Book or Green Diet. Anyways, they're going vegan. I'm vegetarian. I'm not vegan. But anyways, they said they stopped. You know what? I have the article linked up right here. Here we go. Okay, the book is called The Green Print. And this is what he said. They said, having children has changed our lives more than anything else. Jay and Bay write in the intro to Green Print. We used to think of health as a diet. Some worked for us, some didn't. There's so many opinions out there. Once we actually looked at health as the truth instead of a diet, it became a mission for us to share that truth and lifestyle with as many people as possible. We have a responsibility to stand up for our health and the health of our planet. Let's take a stand together and spread the truth. So my point is, everyone's like, this is right, this is wrong, you should eat meat, you shouldn't, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. They got rid of all the he say, she say, all the emotional up, down, backward, sideways, and they're like, let's just look at the actual facts and truth. And that's what they talk about. So I'm not here to say, eat this, don't eat this, but here's what I'll tell you. Pay attention to what gives you energy and what takes it away. Nothing tastes as good as health feels. One of my coaches back in 2011, he's like, you're going to have to get used to certain things. Like you're going to have to not be obsessed with taste all the time because certain things don't taste as good. Give up that need to taste, to have things taste amazing in the moment and that instant pleasure for a revitalized feeling and energized life. And I was like, that's a good point. So my point is, pay attention to what foods energize you. Food should energize you, and it should give you more vitality, not take it away. So if you eat something and you're tired, what are you doing? That's not the purpose of food, right? So when I understood that, it was, you have to have some discipline. It's not easy, but you have to have little things that trigger you, and you have to somehow stay focused on delayed gratification. I know it's not easy for this generation, including myself. I had to train my body and my mind. But here's an example. I'm in the hospital in Lake Tahoe a couple years ago. And the smell of the hospital, just some memories and just the smell of it, I was like, I don't want to be in a hospital. Being sick, not having full control over my body, it just gives me chills. So when I think about eating unhealthy, I fast forward to when I'm 40, 50, 60, 70, and I don't want to do anything to jeopardize my health later on. When I have kids, when they're 18, 19, 20, when they're 25 and 30 and they want to play and I want to play with my grandkids, I'm not going to be like, oh man, shouldn't have ate all that bad food. It was good in the moment. Instant pleasure was amazing when I was 29, but now I can't even get off the couch. Right? I don't want that. So you have to focus on what foods give you vitality and what doesn't. I don't know what works for you. There's 4 million opinions online. So like Jay-Z and Beyonce say, just find the truth and just try different things. But I just focused on what felt good for me and what gave me energy. So here's a couple of the traits of the energized life. So let's go back. Those are the things that kill your energy. Now let's focus on things that actually give you energy. First, one of the traits of the energized life is people are open and observant to the present moment. They're very focused on being present. Like my phone's off. I don't focus on anything else except this video. So when you're in the shower, focus on the shower. When you're with family, give all of your attention to your family. When you're in a business meeting or in a seminar or on a summit or something, be fully focused. Wherever you are, be there. Whoever's the most present is the most influential, right? And like I said, future focus and a strong sense of delayed gratification. Stop being obsessed like a little kid with instant pleasure. Oh, pizza's so good. Yeah, I know it's good. It's okay to have it every once in a while. Just don't have it every day. Just don't be so obsessed with like eating in the moment and making it taste amazing because you're going to feel sick afterwards or tired and it eventually catches up to you. Now, some of you guys, and here's the scary thing, health is an uncomfortable topic. for unhealthy people. Some people might have shut this off already, but I commend you for being the 5% that want to better themselves. And maybe you have to get uncomfortable to grow, right? They are challenge seekers and they don't look for opinions before taking action. They are self-reliant and they know how to spark their own fire. Okay, there's a couple of the traits. So the 3 types of energy that I dive into: physical energy, emotional energy, and mental energy. Okay, so physical energy is nutrition, right? Making sure you have a lot of greens, lots of water, don't eat at certain times. Exercise. I usually start people with 2-3 days a week. If you've never exercised, it's been a while, maybe start with 1 day a week. Like, get active consistently. Cardio, weights, stretching, yoga. There's a lot of programs online that you can use. You can go to the gym. I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do. I just want to give you kind of an overall philosophy on what you need, obviously, to focus on. So this is, the physical is more nutrition, exercise, mindset, things like that. I have a morning drink that I do. I can link it below. There's a podcast I did sharing my exact morning drink. Emotional energy is emotional intelligence. Do you analyze or are you emotional? Do you make decisions based off emotion and based off your mood, or is it based off intelligence? Are you choosing growth in the moment, or are you choosing what's easy? This emotional energy is where a lot of energy comes from. It's focusing on what you want, not just what you have to do. It's focusing on solutions, not problems. You always have, so with my sales team, they used to always bring me problems. If you're in a leadership role, people love bringing problems, right? I tell them, I challenge you to bring 2 solutions to every problem. And eventually they became self-sufficient. So this not only increased their energy and their resourcefulness, it increased mine because people weren't nagging on me with problems. Anyone can bring problems, right? It takes a self-sufficient leader to bring solutions. Now, your ability to energize yourself is one part of emotional energy, but your ability to energize others is a whole different level. And then the mental energy, what you put in your mind, staying away from negative news, negative media, what you're watching at night. Are you watching a bunch of horrors and murder mysteries? Nothing wrong with that, but that's probably going to cloud your mind. You won't believe how subconscious works, right? How you talk to yourself, the story you tell yourself. Are you around people that love themselves and are confident in themselves? Or are you around people that play the victim, right? So the story you tell yourself, being around the right people or being around toxic people is a huge, huge game changer. And I dive into the 5 hidden gems of maximum energy and peace of mind. There's a lot of things I talk about. I help you define your morning routine. There's a mini vacation strategy I give in there as well. So you can, I'm not going to, obviously the podcast is just an intro, so I recommend you checking it out. But all the details are in here, and I talk about what action steps to take, how to maximize your morning routine, how to create an energy explosion, and things like that. So just, the bottom line is just be aware and understand the importance of energy, right? Understand the importance of focusing on it. What 3 things, let's leave you with some powerful questions to just conceptualize. What 3 things can you start doing today to increase your energy? What 3 things should you stop doing right now that are killing your energy? And how are you showing up daily? Is it just another day, or I'm going to make this day my best day ever? At any decision, you can make this the best day you ever had. When your feet hit the ground, when you're laying in bed and your feet hit the ground, you literally, right when they hit, you need to think of a powerful mantra and reinvent yourself. When my feet hit the ground, I'm thinking the world is not ready for me. So when your feet hit the ground, make the conscious decision that you're going to live a charged life, not caged or comfortable like most people. Just because it's shown by society that everyone settles doesn't mean it's okay for you to settle, right? So how must you show up if you're going to make your dreams, visions, and goals a reality? That's my question to you. I challenge you for the next 7 days, make your decision based off what's best for your energy and health, and just stay away from instant pleasure, all right? I hope you enjoy this chapter. Let's share with me below. Let's get some conversation and some banter going. I will be in the chat too, or the comments. What is one thing you're going to do to improve your energy over the next 7 days? Or what's something that you've done that has helped your energy that you can share with other people that can help them as well? Let's create some banter. I'll go back and forth on the comments. Once again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube, and thank you for checking out the podcast. Health is a very important topic to me, and it's scary because so many people wait until it's too late. They wait until their back's against the wall. And we're seeing an epidemic with people, our grandparents, even some parents, their health is bad because there was no awareness 30, 40 years ago, right? Now there's so much awareness around health. So health conscious and being focused on healthy lifestyle is a competitive advantage. So don't wait till it's too late. Now matters with health. Let's protect our health and have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon.